From getting relentlessly bullied throughout his Outlander career to wanting to move on to Bollywood with Priyanka Chopra, here's the real reason why Sam Heughan almost quit Outlander. Let's start off with how he faced extreme amounts of bullying, to the point where he had to make a public post requesting fans and haters to politely back off. Seriously, wait till you hear what the poor guy went through. The actor broke his long silence in a Twitter post in 2020, where he revealed that he was getting doxxed repeatedly. And it got so bad that he was even scared to take a normal flight back to the UK. Yep, he was worried that people would find out his location and end up putting not only him, but his entire family in danger. It's pretty sad to see this happen, because come on, celebrities are human too. Heughan said that he'd been getting major hate, with people leaking his private info and hurling insults at his loved ones. The poor guy had to put his foot down, threatening to block anyone who next said something nasty to him online or sent him weird DMs. In fact, the Scottish heartthrob went on to say that it affected his mental health a lot, and nobody deserves to be pushed past their breaking point, right? It's hard enough being in the spotlight all the time, especially since Outlander fans are so personally invested in the show, and that can turn toxic real fast. I mean, he literally had to write it down that he's a normal guy and deserves to be treated as such. That's not it though, he and his loved ones were getting death threats too. Saying you hate somebody is one thing, but to send them death threats, that's a whole other level of messed up if you ask me. He said that his fellow cast members, family, and friends all were in the same danger he was in. To make matters worse, Sam Heughan said that the people who were sending these awful threats are actually full-grown adults with lives, so they should know better. He couldn't go into detail about exactly who was behind all of this drama because of legal reasons, so that's a pretty big sign that this was super serious. The saddest thing about this is probably how it made him lose his faith in humanity as a whole. Yup, this really broke him, because he said that the reason he never spoke up about it all these years was because he was trying to always see the best side of people. But unfortunately, things didn't change, and just when you think it couldn't get any worse, it did. Because they even accused him of being closeted. People can make up some crazy stuff about you when you're famous, but with Sam Heughan, they just took it way too far. There were tons of false claims. People were accusing him of manipulating fans, extorting them for money, not practicing social distancing during COVID, and the cherry on top, being a gay guy in the closet. An anonymous poster went on Data Lounge and claimed they saw Sam share a hotel suite with another guy in March 2019, then called his interactions with his Outlander co-stars fake, saying that he was in the sunken place of gay shame. Just let that sink in for a minute. Sam Heughan called these out by saying that he's definitely not closeted, and to be honest, any person's sexuality is their business, not anyone else's. The actor said that all of these crazy claims are false, and reminded his fans that he's actually nothing like the characters he plays. As for COVID regulations, the star made it clear that he was following all protocols. At the time, he was isolating in Hawaii because flights were banned, and he was being extra careful since he was sick for 3 months before that. Nobody had told him to leave either, so those rumors were put to rest. While he was fending off the haters, Sam was also forced to do a nude scene in Outlander, which made him lose his trust in the show's creative team. The star has been a part of the show since 2014, and he signed on to the show knowing that the contract required nudity, but he didn't expect full frontal nudity. He wrote about the experience in his memoir, Waypoints, My Scottish Journey, and revealed that the scene in Season 1, where Tobias Menzies' character takes advantage of him, was the one that betrayed his trust completely. Sam wrote that the scene would have been handled differently today, and that he didn't think being naked was necessary at all, since it was a very sensitive and horrifying event. The audience didn't really need to see everything to know how messed up it was. According to Sam, who has tons of experience in the field, leaving things to the imagination can be just as powerful, and it keeps things comfortable and respectful between the actors. He didn't keep quiet either, and said that he pushed back, requesting the team to cut the frontal nudity out, and apparently, it sparked a huge debate between him and the team. They did compromise in the end, and ended up just showing him nude at the end of the scene, but it still was a difficult experience for him. What's more, the show didn't have any intimacy coordinators on the show until Heughan himself brought one in. He said it was high time to do that, in order to make sure everyone felt protected and comfortable, which is also very hard to do when you're shooting in the freezing cold at night. The views in Outlander may be absolutely stunning, but Sam revealed that they come at a huge cost. They're almost impossible to shoot in. When talking about his struggles while filming season 7, the star said that the biggest challenges he faced were all the night shoots in the cold. All the sites were in Scotland. And according to Sam, the temperatures dropped so low that it's really hard to focus on his acting properly.
Give me your foot. Give it to me.
Speaking of acting, there's no doubt that Sam absolutely kills his role as Jamie Fraser, but that also comes with a huge cost: his sanity. Yes, folks, he actually broke down after a scene in season 1. It was the one where Jamie and Claire get into a very heated argument after he rescued her from captivity.
I went for a walk.
I ordered you to stay put.
I don't have to do what you tell me to.
Aye, you do. You are my wife.
That scene was super well done, but before they filmed it, Heughan and Katrina Balfe practiced it together, and it was way more brutal than it was on the show. For context, both their characters were in new situations and said things to each other they later regretted. Heughan wrote about this in his memoir too, and he said that the both of them got so lost in the scene that just after one reading, they began getting violent with each other. You heard me. They literally started coming for each other's throats. The director had to call time out, and they did hug it out after. But the whole thing was a really crazy experience, and it scared Sam Heughan a lot. Sure, there are many things to love about acting, but it's times like these that call for a break from Outlander. The job can be very demanding, what with the long working hours, the intense scenes, and the freezing cold. The actor wrote about the time he took off from the show in his memoir, where he started a new side project altogether just to get his mind off the show. It wasn't another acting job. It was actually a long trek along the West Highlands. It wasn't a very long break, since he couldn't take more than a week off. The poor guy ended up carrying way too much gear and almost gave up on the second day of the trek, but what kept him going were the people he met on the way. He said it was good for him because it was the one time he could stop and smell the roses. While this was a much-needed break from Outlander, the actor also seems to be branching out with another role, and you'll never guess what it is. He wants to do a Bollywood movie. Of course, we all love Outlander, and Sam Heughan does too, but his interest in moving on makes one thing very clear. There are more interesting opportunities out there for him. He told the world that he really wants to do a Bollywood movie with his Love Again co-star Priyanka Chopra. Sam was pretty stoked about it, saying that he's down for a movie with Priyanka and that learning how to sing and dance is gonna be super fun for him. Even though the star was unsure about his sense of rhythm, Chopra told him that if he practices hard enough, they can definitely do a fun movie full of dance sequences together, something he could never even dream of in Outlander. Well, there you have it, folks. From wanting to move on to Bollywood with Priyanka Chopra to getting bullied relentlessly throughout his Outlander career, this was the real reason Sam Heughan almost quit Outlander.